Okay, class. So, regarding the topic of amino acid, peptides, and proteins, see, we are going to move up sequentially at this point that we are going to understand that protein is just another biomolecule and is actually one of the most important biomolecule of life. Everything ends up at protein when you have seen the central dogma of life, that is DNA to RNA and RNA to protein. So, what are the building blocks of that protein? The building blocks of protein is amino acid. So, I am going to describe these three words, amino acid, peptide and protein, in a very concise manner. In this particular portion of the unit, you will be able to understand the structure and naming of all 20 amino acids. You will be able to understand the properties, structure of peptides, behavior of amino acid, that is their characteristic features, and to know the the buffering abilities of amino acids. Okay, now when I'm talking about proteins, so if you look at this slide, you can see that the slide is representing various levels of organisms structure. That is, if you see insects, cells, or red blood cells and the rhinoceros. So basically all these means things, whatever is being present in your biological, in any biological organism, that is mainly built up of protein. For example, if for example you are considering your organs also, so in that context let's take an example of nail. For example, nail, it is having keratin. Then if you consider your skin, it is containing keratin. If you think about your inside of the body, your blood is containing hemoglobin, your muscle is containing myoglobin. So all part of the biological organisms are considering a constituting of proteins. So basically we can say that proteins are the polymers of amino acids. So amino acids have the capacity to polymerize, so they are actually composing the properties of the proteins. So they, because of amino acids, most of the properties of the proteins are easily understood. So we are going to understand the basic modular structure of an amino acid that I have discussed in the class also, that there is a central carbon, that is we call it as alpha carbon. Now apart from that alpha carbon, if I am going to satisfy the valency of this carbon, I am going to substitute all these substituents like amino terminal, carboxy terminal, yeah, so carboxy terminal, this is carboxy terminal, and H will always be there as I told you earlier in the class, and R will be the side chain. So this side chain is different in all 20 amino acids. This is the basic modular structure of amino acids. So when you say amino, when you say acid, so this acid is, both amino and acid are right now in an ionic position. So whenever you are drawing the structure, you must draw either the ionic form or the non-ionic form. If you want to draw the non-ionic form, it will be NH2COOH. Okay, and when it is in ionic form, remove one proton from COOH and add that proton to NH2. So it will become NH3 plus, it will become carboxylate ion. Okay. So about these structures I will be describing in my next presentation. Thank you.